All right. Well, thank you,
So,
Hank. What is? Let me start here. Is
Okay.
Hank short for something?
so
Like, and just the name, not how you got the name, but like the name Hank. Like,
Henry.
oh, okay, okay.
I come from a
I like
long lineage of Henrys.
I actually love that name.
I do. I come from a significant lineage of Henrys.
I love that name.
My uncle, my grandfather, my wife's father, they all have that name. It's somehow incorporated. And then my son as well. There are 5 Henrys that are all related there.
A friend of mine also, he named his son Henry,
Yep.
and it's a family name.
So I'm hitting refresh here.
Yeah, take 2 here at the Hop and the Bean.
Well-
If you were watching before, we had technical difficulties in the home studio. This is a little new setup for us. I mean, it's not really new because we're always somewhere new, so it's always new.
There it is.
Is my point. But so we're back, we're here, and we're getting ready to do this thing again. Have another. Can you hear us? If there's anyone watching, can you hear us?
They certainly can.
Okay, loud and live.
They certainly can.
All right. Scott's mic is on.
Like I need my mic on.
His supposed to be off, but okay.
Who's Scott?
Just kidding. Yeah, who is Scott? Wow.
2 nights in a row, man.
Wow.
I've been on the air. You sure Akron's not going to get irritated or annoyed by me?
I mean,
I'm not going to be here long. I'm only here for like a couple minutes,
There's
man.
a possibility.
Yeah.
But,
Last night's show was supposed to be an hour. Went an hour and a half. We're talking Browns.
man, that's why I said you didn't want me on that show.
No,
but
that's good.
I will be there. Maybe we're gonna go to the new Fatheads place before we go to the Browns game.
Okay.
The new massive.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You said I was supposed to be drinking something. So if you're watching and if you're tuning in, folks, make sure you're drinking something and share whatever it is that you're drinking. You said that was in the notes. Okay.
Yep.
So I went and I bought. This isn't local, but it's a John.
okay.
It's a John Daly's Grip It and Sip It, because I just wanted to see what would John Daly produce. Okay.
Do not hold this against him.
No.
Or the Hop and the Bean.
No,
the
no,
Hop
no.
and the Bean does not promote this product.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Or this style of drink.
But it's terrible. It is absolutely awful. You know, it's like they try to make it like an Arnold Palmer and then add alcohol to it, and it's just really bad.
Yeah, it just went wrong. Well,
So-
it says John Daly on it.
I know, but
Yeah.
I love that guy, right? He's the
Right.
Americana story, right?
Yeah, his golf bag.
Cinderella
they said it was
story
like
come out of nowhere, you know.
a stogie, and a bottle of Jack, and a 12-pack of beer. That was in his golf bag. at
Of
all
course it
times.
was. Of course it was. So
All right. Well,
all right.
you ready to start a show?
Let's do a show.
All right.
Music,
Yeah.
explosions.
You guys
boom,
do all that
got
kind
it.
of stuff.
Okay.
We don't do that here. But,
Okay.
So, thank you and welcome for joining us. Let me start again. Welcome and thank you for joining us to At Home with the Hop and the Bean, episode number-ish 12, maybe? We are so excited that you're joining us here at the Hop and the Bean headquarters, a.k.a. Mikasa. We've traveled around to all different types of breweries, brew pubs, coffee shops, coffee roasters, and cafes. And we talked about it, Nicky and I, and we said, you know what? Let's take a breather. Let's take a moment and catch our breath, recap about where we've been, where we're going, and why we're here. And so we've interacted with a lot of folks, a lot of beer fests. We have some coming up. And in addition to all that, we want to invite you, the listeners and viewers, right now, if you're watching, go ahead and share this, because we want to include as many people as we can in this conversation tonight. And we want to see what you're drinking, because there's a couple different beer boards that I'm on. Northeast Ohio Craft Brew News. Shout out to Rob, who runs that page. Phenomenal page. And I love the interaction, just seeing the different types of beers that we are able to share, that we can discover together. And so I hope we can do that tonight a little bit. But in addition to that, it'll be a recap of where we've been. I'm talking with my hands a lot right now, but where we've been, where we're going, like I said. And so when we say where we've been, we're starting right at the beginning, right? So the very first idea that I had to do this show, I thought, man, you were doing a show called 330 to go.
Yep.
We'll get into that in just one moment. But I approached you and I said, hey, a great idea for a show maybe would be beer and coffee, because in this area at the time and currently and everywhere, but really right now, it's really exploding in Akron. I mean, really kind of new coffee places. And so I approached you, and we did a show. I think we had Missing Falls and Compass Coffee on, and it kind of blew up. It was a phenomenal, great show. And I approached you, and so what did you say?
We got a comment from our audience. Says turn the volume up just a little bit. All right. So there's that. Well, we started 330 to go in November.
On the iRig. It's turned up a little bit.
Okay. Yep. Turn that up there. All right. Let us know, folks, if you can hear better. Can barely hear Andy. Use the automatic microphone things. Those dials. The dials. Yeah. There you go. Each one of the microphones has their own. Yep. Okay. Cool.
Can you hear me now?
All right. So we started 330 to go back in November of last year. It was one of those deals where myself and Moonman, we're very talented at what we do. I've been running a DJ business for 20-some years. It's 24, 25 now. And he's been producing music and doing those sorts of things. So we've always kind of been looking for a project to collaborate on. And people have always been saying to me, you should do something, you should do something, you should do. And I'm like, what are we going to do, right? I mean,
yeah. I remember that because you asked me. You're like, what, you think I should do this? I'm like, do it.
And I'm like, this was like mid-October last year, right? And so we're like, okay, I guess we're going to do a show. We had no idea what we were getting into. And then we did our first show, and we had some fun with it, and, it started to build, and then the Browns happened. I mean, when we really took off is when the Browns lost their final game, and then they decided to do the parade. And we ended up going and covering that. Live. And in that week, we were going to take a couple weeks off after Christmas, but we're like, we're like, we got to come off break right now, and this is emergency coverage, Browns coverage, right? So luckily we landed McNeil, the parade organizer,
right,
and the Bone Lady.
Yep.
And then some crazy skeleton guy showed up in my front yard, wanted to change the name of the Browns to the Cleveland Skeletons, right?
Cleveland Skeletons. Yep.
At that moment, the show took on a new meaning for the whole area in the city of Akron and the 330 in general. And we started to kind of grow. It just kind of happened, right?
Yep.
So at that point, I don't remember, you came to me, it was right around that time.
Yeah.
You go, what would you think about doing a show on beer and coffee? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, whatever you want to do, right? Because the whole point of the show is to allow us to provide a platform for anybody in the 330 area to have us cover whatever they want to. And the topics have been rolling in ever since. But at that time, I said to you, it would be your baby, and because I don't know anything about coffee, and I don't know anything about beer. And I remember specifically, I started the show out. I did my host about me doing my own show. And I'm like, that sounds like a great idea. And at that point, the 330 To Go Network was born.
Yep.
Which, I'm not going to hijack your show. We got a lot of big news announcements coming on that side in the very near future.
Oh, yeah.
But point being, what we're doing, what we're trying to do is we're trying to provide quality entertainment to Akron and surrounding areas. Canton. Hello, friends in Canton. We always neglect Canton.
I'll be going there soon.
I'm going to Youngstown in 2 weeks. Point being, that's what both of our shows do right now, and the goal is to allow people to have a platform to share their story. So if you're looking, I'm wearing my Madcap shirt. We were just there last episode. My wife loves the whole no masters, no snobs thing.
I love this shirt.
So that to me is the essence of what you do. And you've done it with Missing Falls. You've done it with Holy Joe's. You've done it with Nervous Dog.
We're gonna run through the list.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into
the mountain one. I was at Missing Mountain, and then I love the guys from Missing Falls. The point is, you give them a platform to share their story.
Yep. And there's every different place has every story. People say to me, "What are you gonna do when you run out of content?" I'm like, "Hey,
you don't have to.
Yeah.
You just ask a question and you talk for an hour."
Right. And people get nervous when they go in and come on. They say, "Well, you think you need the whole hour for me?" And I said, "Yeah, just trust me. When you start talking about something you're passionate about, this show is my baby, but Missing Falls is their baby. That brewery or Missing Mountain is their acronym brewing company. That's their baby. It's an hour is gonna fly by like that.
Well, it was an hour and a half. Ryan's talky, right? Which is fine. It's fun. But what I find interesting, and you were adamant about this, and so was our friend Rob from Northeast Craft Brew News. There's a community when I've never seen anything quite like it
It is.
from a business standpoint.
Yeah, it's and I say this too. It's this show is bigger than just a show. It's being involved. Like I create. I've been trying to. What my goal starting was to create the Hop of the Bean community, and the only thing about that is I'm actually being accepted into the craft beer community, which is amazing. And I want to bring in the coffee side of it too. Coffee hasn't taken off like it has out west around here yet.
Okay.
The things that like Acton Coffee Roasters, Bent Tree, Nervous Dog, and some of these Artisan. I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's a lot of around the area that are starting to do it, and it's starting to really gain traction. It's not quite like the brew pubs yet, but the community is there. A lot of times, the same person that drinks a craft beer and enjoys that community is also part of the specialty coffee community.
Okay.
And so that's where the Hop of the Bean comes in to connect those two communities, and we're all like that communal piece of it. And I think when I explained that to you the first time, you looked at me like, what the heck are you talking about?
Right.
And now, when you see these breweries, that's exactly it.
Right.
And it's beautiful.
Yep. So good job getting started. I think you've got some momentum now.
Yeah.
And, we wish you the best of luck as you continue to grow. As we continue to grow our network, we're going to be looking for opportunities for people to sponsor both shows, to be a part of the things that we're doing.
And opportunity, and that's the great word. It's opportunities. It's not just like, hey, sponsor our show, but it's the opportunity because of the way that we do. We offer, and we can get into this at another time, but the opportunities that we present as a sponsorship is completely unique than probably any other sponsorship you're going to get from anywhere else, just because of the nature of you and I and the Moon Man. I mean, the way that we flip it, doing it game day style. Maybe not everybody knows what that means, but soon they will.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right?
All right, man. Am I done?
Yes. Well, let me, and I just want to go on record and say thank you for giving me the platform to do this.
Sure.
To go this, to trust me, to have the confidence in me to do this, and now look at us. We are here, and you are my guest, and we've kind of come full circle, and we're starting a new circle.
At the end of the day, it's just like raising birds. It's like raising baby birds. You just push them out of the nest, they go fly, and that's it. Away they go. I mean, you took a little bit of motivation.
I like to think of myself as an eagle.
Or you could be any kind of bird you want. Okay, you could be a dodo, you could be a raptor,
No.
you could be whatever you want. Okay. Point being, you just needed that little push, and now you're flying, and it's time for you to soar.
Well, thank you for. Right. You're going to produce the rest of the show, right?
I am.
Okay.
Go on back there.
All right. Well, so in our next coming up, so one of our things that we want to start doing here at the Hop of the Bean, a new piece of the show that we want to start featuring is going to be called Nicky's Hop in the Bean fashion segment. And so if you have, so that's the thing. A lot of these breweries, brew pubs, and coffee shops, they are entrepreneurs, and they have different places, and they marketing, and it's like you build your brand, and then you have swag, quote unquote, hats, shirts, and so we want to provide a platform to kind of display that, and so and that's where Nicky's going to come in for us in a couple minutes, and we're going to have Nicky's fashion segment where we would love to have any and the part of it is it's so cool seeing. I'm a big marketing and their logos and it's basically how do you present your brand, how you present yourself to the world, and the logos and the graphic design and all the work that they do together. And so it's so cool to see that. I love it, seeing how it happens, how it unfolds. And so the last show that we were actually at, we were able to, I love their vision on that side of things. And so I believe we're having a few technical difficulties, so if you can hear me, if sound quality is okay, go ahead and give me a triple thumbs up. And besides that, like I was saying, when we get back to the Nicky's fashion segment, we're going to roll it out right
Well, today I got my Madcap V-neck, women's V-neck. Madcap is an awesome brewery out in Stowe that we visited last week, and I think these shirts are pretty awesome. I kind of
So Nikki is wearing. She was on the mic, so I don't know if you were able to hear her, but Nikki is wearing what we actually all are wearing on the show today. Madcap out in Kent, Ohio, on Mogador Road. We were there last week. Super phenomenal brewery. This is what you were sporting today, right?
Yeah.
All right. And so shout out to Ryan and all the guys out at Madcap for a phenomenal show last week. Love to have some artists on board. They have some great graphic design and a great experience when you go out there. It's super cool from your experience when you walk in. It's just a great and my point being is that it makes for great merchandise, hats. If you notice my really big hat, shirts and merch, as they say in the business. So Nikki's fashion segment, sporting the Madcap logo, right? The Madcap brand, and so that's one of the things that we want to roll out with some of these breweries and some of the coffee shops as well. We'd love to get on board with that, and kind of just an example. We should have got a shirt that said "Your logo here." So a lot of you guys have maybe heard about Nikki as a member of our team, so I wanted to go ahead and give her the platform to be on an actual show with us today, because you've been here for about 99.8% of the journey. A couple shows here and there, but you're completely in on the vision. We talked about it. You're a family friend, and you have the same passion that we do about reaching out to these different breweries and kind of experience. One thing you said to me is how cool it is to experience all the different, how unique every different brew pub and coffee shop is. It's the same thing, but it's like their take on it, right? So thank you for joining us on your, I guess, broadcasting debut, right? So you guys, this is Nikki. You've heard about her, and now here she is live. So you weren't at Madcap with us, but tell us a little bit. We're going to go through kind of where we've been and what we're doing. We've kind of gone to the start of things, but speaking of vision, we'll start at the vision of the Hop and the Bean, right? We came up with the idea, and like Scott was saying, through that first initial segment, and then we saw this community-based thing, right? That it's a community is what it is everywhere that we go. Would you say that's kind of been like your experience as we've gone to the different, I mean, even the beer fest that we were at, Akron Ale Fest, and everybody's just warm and welcoming, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I think that anytime that you can get yourself involved in some kind of community building adventure, it's so fun. It's the best way to really build relationships and meet people that are like-minded to yourself. And even from the first beer fest that we had, or the first when we went to Compass Coffee for the Drink Beer Do Good event, we met so many people there the first week, and even the next week when we went to Akron Coffee Roasters for the latte art, we already knew so many people, and there were already so many familiar faces. So it's neat because I feel like the past few years I haven't been out of the house as much as I would like to be, and all of a sudden I feel like everywhere I go, I'm seeing people that I know, and you just connect over it, and it's so neat to be able to build connections in your city, going to the grocery store and you meet somebody, and it's just, you feel so much more connected, and it makes the world so much smaller where you are.
Sure. So, and I always say breweries and coffee shops are at the forefront of city revitalization, community building, and relationship connecting, making those relationships in the most positive ways. Right. I tell people we are doing a show tonight. Oh, Madcap. Oh, I was going to Akron. We're like, so it's a bar. I'm like, no, it's a brew pub. There's a difference.
It's the same thing as inviting all of your friends over to share a meal. I mean, everybody's like, hey, let's break bread together. I mean, that's the best way to really start community, because everybody loves food, and it's kind of the same thing with coffee. Like, you meet somebody new, hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee, or and it's just another way for us as adults to be able to make friends, I guess.
Well,
really.
Yeah, and it's the wall and the barrier breaker, right? It's like this fantastic, amazing beer from Akron does not discriminate against whether I'm weird, socially awkward, or this weird white dude from Green, Ohio. as it does, to anyone. It's like, hey, or whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're yellow, green, blue, purple, your political background,
young,
right?
educated,
It's like
uneducated,
a good cup of coffee and a good glass of beer will break down all those barriers and say, hey, it's that, and that's the community part, and that's like a huge reason that Happen to Bean exists.
Yeah.
And so part of that community, right, is the beer that we're drinking, and if you can see, Acronym Brewing was kind enough to lend a growler of their newest IPA. It is called Breaking Ground, I believe. It's like a New England style IPA, and it's
really good.
might be one of my favorite beers they've brewed yet. It is phenomenal. It's really good. They're a newer brewery in the downtown Akron area. I mean, right downtown. Phenomenal location on the
you
parking
can't miss
garage.
it,
Of the art museum. Quick bad story today. I may on my way there, I may have turned down a wrong way street the wrong way, and like 3 people beeped at me, and I just
that
like
was
quickly
before-
made a U-turn. Yeah.
Before you started drinking.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing to get your beer, Acronym. I'm driving down one-way streets to get to your. But they were awesome enough to provide a beer for us tonight to try, and they're tapping their new pumpkin beer tomorrow night, and they will be opening up early. I love this. At 11 for Browns games. So you can come and pregame and for the Browns and watch the Browns. Then they're genius.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of breweries, like I said, they're not bars. They
Right.
are family-oriented hours. Usually they're not open all hours. But and it's a great, awesome location. So shout out to them for this fantastic IPA that we're able to try. And same thing, Nervous Dog was these beans that you see here actually are from Nervous Dog. There's a few locations around the Akron area. I mean, a few. We had them on a show, but I went in there and just kind of trying to see what's if they had any promotion coming up or if we could give a shout out to them. And they're here, just take some beans and try them out. I haven't tried the coffee yet, but it's a dark Guatemalan roast, and I think it'll be great. And that's part of the relationship. Like Akron Coffee Roasters, holy crap! Like they are like, I love them. Great relationship. Artisan, even though we haven't done a show yet, I've built a good relationship with them, and they want to be on the show soon. And Compass Coffee, and we have fingers on our being. Sorry. But yeah, and that just speaks to the community, right? That's my point. I'm kind of babbling on, but it's just I can go on, and we have a beer, like you said, we have a beer fest coming up this weekend. The Grape Falls and Craft Brews, and like Madcap is going to be there. Shout out, love this glass, and I love Magic City's glass right there. I love their logo. Again, I'm a logo guy, but I think Arche is going to be there. I think there's one more that's going to be there. Oh, Hi Ho. And so it's going to be like we might not know, but like, hey, they're like, oh, hey guys, what's up? And it's just that communal feel. So you mentioned, let's go into where we've been, right? Where we've been, where we're going, and why we're here. It's kind of the why we've kind of established, right? This very communal family feel that we need to continue to grow and nourish. First show outside of the Hop in the Bean 330 to go segment was Compass Coffee. Drink beer, do good. It was a little bit chaotic, right? But give me your first impressions about how the interaction there and how that went.
It was fun. I mean, we had a chance to interview all 3 of the brewers that were there. That was really cool.
That's a good point.
Yeah, to be able to do for our first show. I feel like we kind of got, it was my first time doing tech, which as you can tell, we have a lot of tech issues that are usually my fault.
It is okay.
Learning.
It's all right.
But it was fun for us to be able to have so many things happen the first night. Like we had coffee, and we had beer, and we had like an event that was going on that was raising money for a good cause, which is also things that we're really passionate about. And we got to set up our tech for the first time. We got to try out so many different beers, meet some new brewers, and just really get in. You got some practice interviewing and how that actually feels to, and it was fun. I think the conversations were awesome. We met a lot of people, and it's just a fun environment to be able to be in a place where so much is happening at once and it's all things that you love, and
Yep.
it was good.
It
was
yeah,
a
it
good
was
time. It was really
a really great learning experience. I mean, it was like I said, a little bit chaotic
Yeah.
in that environment. Any environment,
Yeah.
we've learned. I mean, because we did a sit down for that that show, and it was basically it was not a beer tasting. There's
Yeah.
3 breweries there,
Yeah.
but and they also had the coffee bar, Compass Coffee. And then we had people on. The beauty of that was we were able to have, like you said,
Yeah.
all the brewers came on, and then the people at the Well and Eric from Compass Coffee. So
Yeah.
that
a
was
little bit
that
of
was
everything.
pretty amazing. I mean, honestly, that was a pretty phenomenal show, and I love everything the Well. And excuse me, I'm still going through that stage where my voice cracks every so often. But the Well and Compass Coffee. Everything that they're doing is awesome and amazing. I love to support them any chance that I can.
Yeah.
And we've never we might come full circle with Compass Coffee. I would love to do that because we've never actually sat down just a one-on-one show with them.
Yeah.
They've been on 3 to Go with us. We've been there for their Drink Beer Do Good. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm talking about that too. Just like saying, coming full circle to this place, and it's funny because I feel like we've already done quite a few shows. We've been to quite a few places, and there are still so many more places just
Right.
in Akron for
Yeah.
us to go to, and for brewers and coffee roasters for us to meet, which is amazing to me because I feel like I've been in Akron for about 5 years, and the only coffee shops I really knew of were like Nervous Dog and Angel Falls, and I was
Sure.
and now I'm like, oh my gosh, there are so many places, so many breweries, and it's such a blast because it's like this secret community of people that are all doing the same thing, passionate about the same thing.
And we're exposing
And,
that secret.
and it's
We don't want it to
cool.
be secret,
Yeah. No, it's
And it's
there are a lot of hidden gems, I think, around here. So.
and it truly and basically what you're describing is, I say this, it's my description of what we're doing is a journey and an adventure.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just we're not climbing mountains or there might be the mountain is missing. And there isn't a waterfall. The falls are missing.
Yeah.
But sorry, people will get that joke. A few people, hopefully. But
It's like a scavenger hunt.
we're going around on this incredible journey and adventure.
Yeah.
So from Compass Coffee, the Drink Beer Do Good event, which was a awesome time, to Akron Coffee Roasters, we had 2 events back to
Yeah.
back. The latte art
It was a
throwdown,
fun way to start. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
And it's so basically latte art is where they do the ferns and the hearts and the different crazy things with
Tulips.
The
yeah,
mountain is missing. I'm just hearing it now.
with
What?
I said the mountain is missing. I'm just
ah,
I'm on delay. Roll tape.
that the they do with the steamed milk and a latte, right?
Yeah.
So it's so cool, and it actually is beautiful, and it's so fun and so cool to see. And they have the competition, and it's actually a big part of the community that is specialty coffee. And so Akron Coffee Roasters, what the?
Cool, isn't it?
I don't know what just happened. Some things are happening behind us. It's a big part of the specialty coffee community. Akron Coffee Roasters were hosting it. I think Compass Coffee said they were going to host the next one.
Yeah.
But it was, again, a little bit difficult to cover the event because of an
It was
event.
chaos. It was
yeah.
so, yeah, it was
And we were so new, and we're
Yeah.
trying to interview Albert and also cover the event
But
at the same
selfishly,
time.
it was fun for us. To be
Exactly.
So- Might not have been the best video, but it was.
Well, that was that's my hope, to cover how cool it is. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
because it got pretty crowded in there, but
It was fun.
yeah, and they were brilliant at hosting it. There was it was a great representation of the Hop and the Bean because he had
And-
craft beers on hand as
And
well.
yeah, and even like that, it just felt like a family. Like you went
Yep.
in, and it's obviously, it's their own little company and everything, and it's a business. But he had like snacks out and a
Yep.
cooler full of beer, and
Yeah.
so and anybody can come in off the street and join the party.
Right.
Basically, to say, and it was such a blast. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So
And we went back to cover I really, because our audio, again being so new, was a little bit mishap we had
Yeah.
on that audio for Albert. So I wanted to go back and cover his story and his vision that is Akron Coffee Roasters and coffee roasting in general, and I continue to learn so much from him.
Yeah.
That was one,
He's a
and
cool
so
guy.
we did a podcast exclusive with him, which we did actually before the Hop and the Bean, the show existed, when we were still with Three Throw to Go. We did some pod exclusives with Ron Shea at R. Shea Brewing, and that one with Albert was just phenomenal. I learned so much, and he's like, you're going to taste some lavender cream soda notes in this coffee, and I'm like,
Very creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went home and I tasted it and I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And so I'm like, and now, ever since then, I'm like geeked up on
Yeah.
all these different notes and specialty coffee and everything, and trying to learn as much as I can.
Yeah.
And they're doing such a phenomenal job. And like, I get as excited about specialty coffee as I do about craft beer now. Even I say this all the time. People probably get sick of me saying it, but I'm where I am with specialty coffee where I was with craft beer about 5 years ago. I'm still learning so much because there's so much to learn. But it's like from the roasting to the techniques. We have a few up here showing like from the pour over to the chemics to the French press to the style of the bean, how it's roasted, and it's just. If I can learn more about that and get the nuances, like Ethiopian, you get that kind of fruity notes. You can get the darker roasts have more of like a
Chocolate. Coffee.
yeah.
Chocolate coffee, of course, but yeah.
And so it's a huge learning curve for me on that end. But Albert's a great guy to learn from. Tim from Artisan is another guy. Eric at Compass is another one. All these CJ that I talk with all the time at Nervous Dog, he's a great guy. To learn from about coffee, and so that's part of the show as well, right? Educational
Absolutely.
value.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, if you look through our shows or if you watch our videos, almost every show so far has been pretty different or had a pretty different focus, and so it's cool. It's like every week is something totally new, and I'm not bored yet. But,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing it all summer, and it's exciting every week. It's something different. So it's
Right.
cool.
Yeah. And I mean, like in Holy Joe's, that's the one I haven't mentioned
Yeah,
yet. We're going to
I
get there,
love
but
that. Yeah, that was
totally,
super
it's just
awesome.
different experiences everywhere that we go, and it's seeing coffee through their eyes or seeing craft beer through their vision. So
It's almost like genres of music. Like a lot of this kind of reminds
Yeah.
me of I love music. I love shows. I love merch, band merch, and everything. And it's kind of very similar to that. I feel like as we're going through, I'm like, it's almost like this is like the new CD cover. This is my new vinyl or whatever. And it's fun. It's like I love going to all these Akron coffee roasters. I still want to go buy that tank top. Like there are so many.
I know.
Walking into these places, like these glasses and the stickers that they have, like everything, it's so fun to see how their creativity comes out with their graphics and just their ideas in that way. And it's just neat. It's like music. It's like what they're creating. It's all so different from each other, but it's the same thing, And so,
Right. Yeah.
And they involve artists. too.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, like Madcap, the
Yes.
whole mural,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the artistry of different
Yep.
artists, right?
yeah,
Hank kind of commenting on the artistic side of the
Right.
things, where the artists that they bring in to do their walls and the graphics that Madcap has done. I mean,
Which-
amazing, and a lot of breweries do that.
And then again, that's such a community builder because it brings in so many people other than just the brewer or just and a lot of these places like they have like Lock 15, but like for example, they have a manager, they have the chef, they have the guy who does the art and the graphics. They have it's like they have all these different roles, and they just respect each other's roles. They don't try to jump on each other and be like, no, I want to do it this way. Like they all trust each other enough to culminate together to have an awesome company, an awesome business going. And that's really cool to see people working together so well. And
I like
it's
that
just
word you
fun.
used, culminate. I like that. It's a culmination of things.
Because I think a lot of times you see businesses and they're doing just one thing and they want everybody to do the same thing. But
Right.
So far, everywhere we've been, I feel like or the Woolly Pig Farm.
Oh, my.
He was talking about just when he was giving us a tour and every little thing in his brewery or tasting room had a story to it. Like from like the glasses to the stools to the tables to the lights, like everything had a cool story. And he was just talking about how many people he's met through this experience and how many people in their community they've been able to kind of like do tradesies, be like, hey, I'll do this for you if you do this for me. And it just makes friendships. It's so
You're
neat.
totally spoiling the
sorry.
whole rest of the show. I'm just kidding. Spoiler alert. I'm just kind of going through. No, it's totally fine. We Missing Mountain, right? That was so after show number 3, Missing Mountain.
Yeah.
That's where we kind of took off a little bit. We hit this level, and they're like, I think still to date our highest viewed show, but phenomenal. Look, I know, yeah. You know, everybody wants to bring that up, but yeah,
that was a cool show.
it was a amazing location. There's just such a great. I mean, it's been, and I learned about Missing Falls and Missing Mountain similar times, and so because I think because of their names and they get a little bit confused sometimes.
Yeah.
But in the falls on Front Street, Missing Mountain, phenomenal job. They're not only, I mean, if you look at their patio on the river, there is not many like it to rival it in Akron, in the area. I mean, it's amazing.
It's a great spot.
I was there a week ago with a friend, and it was just hanging out, and it's beautiful. But then on top of that, the beers they're brewing, I mean, are at the forefront of, I mean, trending beers, and just they don't do a bad beer. I haven't had a bad beer from them yet, and from their New England styles to some of their their cream ale. It's called Prince Juice. I haven't had it yet, but everybody raves about it, and so a lot of their beers. What's that?
Let's just go.
Okay. All right. I know you haven't gone yet, right?
No.
So you need to go.
Yeah,
we need to go.
Yeah.
We went there for Michelle's birthday, and it was any excuse that I have to go there, I go. But much like any brewery in the area, but they're doing a lot of phenomenal beers out there.
Northeast Ohio Craft is saying that the Prince Juice is wonderful and the location's amazing.
Prince Juice, pretty good. Rob, would you say? What are you drinking? Are you drinking tonight, Rob? We were talking about coming on live. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that because I think it switches the format of when we go.
Yeah, the last thing we want is me on camera.
Yeah, I think it switches. So if you want to post pictures or comment live, Rob, what kind of beer you drink? I know you already are.
What's in your hand right now?
Yeah, what's in your hand?
Rob?
What's in your glass? You are as passionate, if not more, about this whole world and community of craft beer as I am, and so I love just kind of talking with you as you're doing the exact same thing that we are. So I love any time that we can combine forces on this journey, which we are in 2 weeks. No, not 1 week. Next week.
Yeah.
Wadsworth Brewing Company, Northeast Ohio Craft Brew News, and the Hop and the Bean join forces, and we will go and drink the River Styx Monster, one of my favorite IPAs. I mean, that's what I'll be drinking. I don't know what Rob's going to drink, but...
Poor guy says he just is pulling in his driveway from work right now. He doesn't have a beer yet.
No.
Come on, Rob.
So that means he's
Come
been
on.
watching the show while driving.
Driving and watching. That's dedication. That's dedication. Wow. Well, as soon as you... Just let us know when you get down to the Diamond in the Rough tasting room. Let me know what they have on tap. And so from there, we went to Nervous Dog, right?
Yeah.
Right down the road, in multiple locations, though. Have you had any of their coffee?
Yes, I love Nervous Dog. I do my homework there pretty frequently.
The one.
So.
The one here?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
It's at the end of my street.
Yeah.
Yeah, super.
Yes.
The one by us, Wallhaven area,
Yeah.
West Akron.
Yeah.
It very cozy atmosphere. Kind of, it's a little bit quieter, which is great for homework. And they have events and spoken word and acoustic performances and things like that.
Board games.
Yeah. Super cool. But they have like 3 or 4 locations, I believe, around the Akron area, Stowe, Fairlawn, and they're doing a great job expanding and what they in the coffee world, what they can offer their little slices, expanding to a few slices, I guess, right? A few drinks. I don't know what I'm going to say right now. But it's like my go-to spot when I'm at home. I need a cup of coffee right down the road. And I think that's kind of their, by design, they go in these communities where they'd be that neighborhood
Little
coffee
pockets.
shop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I love. And then so from there we went back to the friends at Missing Falls, right?
Yeah, that
Which,
was fun.
yeah,
That was cool.
at their new location, well, their future location,
Yeah.
right? Because they were on our show at Casa de Hank, and we went to their actual location where their brew pub was going to be opening up in October, I believe, in Canal Place. Super cool. It's going to be, which we are hoping to cover the grand opening.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be. I tried a few of their home brews, and if their home brews are the same beers that they're going to be providing at their brew pub.
Yeah, they were fun to listen to when they were talking about how they choose their ingredients too for their beers and how they try to bring out specific, notes and flavors and things. It was really fun to watch them because they all get so excited.
Yeah. No,
And,
they're super passionate.
Yeah, they were really fun.
I mean, they talk about how they were brewing in like 0-degree weather in the winter in their driveway just because purely based on passion.
Yeah.
And that is what craft beer is.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I'm super. They've become good friends of the show, just like we're talking about that community base,
Yeah.
and anything that they're doing, we'll be covering. And I imagine it's gonna be like, okay, here we are hitting the ground running, and we're gonna be featuring some of their beers, and
It was cool.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, when we first walked in, I was a little intimidated. They're all kind of
motorcycle riding guys.
And everybody's joking around and giving. It was just cool.
Right.
And that's exactly. You go somewhere and I know for me, I'm just like, oh, I'm a little intimidated by the person, and then something like this breaks those walls down, and you realize it's it was just cool. I don't know, it was neat to get to know them and
Yeah, and that's so there's 4, if I'm correct, guys that are on their team, and it's a very much family feel.
Yeah.
That they're all family men.
Yeah.
And and that's the whole no snobs, no masters mentality that Madcap, that part of their vision statement, that it's not about, hey, we brew this beer and you're not good enough to know. No, it's like, hey, come join us, come be a part of this community. Try a beer. If you don't like that, try this one. It's like,
right. Yeah.
it's the most locally sourced. You can't get any more local than you're in where they make the beer. It's like being in the kitchen where mom's cooking the apple pie, you know, right? And so it's funny you said that because they give off that feel of community. Once you might get that stigma of the Harley riding guys or whatever, but it's once you meet them, they're just
they're so funny.
They're awesome. It's
Great
your crazy
too.
uncle that wants you to stay at your house for way too long.
And I felt like we were on a bonfire, we were telling stories from what you guys were telling stories.
Yeah.
Old college stories. And
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Good.
So from there we traveled to Holy Joe's Coffee House.
Jen Ashton is saying that she's got no beer yet, but she's already thinking about a Brewdog Hazy Jane once she gets the kids to bed.
Oh, Hazy Jane, Jen. Yes. That Brewdog is doing some phenomenal stuff. When I first cheers to you then. That's one of my favorite beers is the kids to bed beer.
And then right now, Rob's saying he just poured himself a Masthead Haunted Hayride Pumpkin Ale.
Oh, Rob, Rob? Tell me how that beer is. Yes, I want to hear. I've been hesitant to drink that beer because you share the same perspective as me on that note. It doesn't feel like fall yet. It's still, it's
95.
It's humid in 95, and as one of my friends at UPS said, his thermostat said hot as balls today is the forecast. But
I had that in my thing,
yeah. But let me know. And I'm not huge on pumpkin beers. Same. It's funny because I want to do a thing about that with the pumpkin spice lattes and pumpkin beers. They're coming. They're coming.
They're out.
Yeah, I know, but it just doesn't feel like it, right?
Not yet,
because it's
I'm not
90
ready.
degrees out. And I don't really love either one of them. But it takes a really. It can be done tastefully in the right way, and I bet you, if anybody can do it, Masthead can do it.
Yeah.
Pumpkin is amazing.
Southern Tier, yeah. Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Which the new Southern Tier location in Cleveland just opened like 2 days ago.
Nice.
And I heard it's fun. CJ from Nervous Dog was telling me about it. There's like a ridiculous amount of taps.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll have like an Oktoberfest party or something.
I don't know. I don't know.
They
But
should.
like
They should.
my favorite thing about Southern Tier is their dessert stouts.
Yes, like the creme brulee.
Oh,
my
yes,
God.
yes. And the
good.
chocolate.
Oh.
That's one of my favorites, chocolate stouts. And then they do, but the pumpkin
Yeah.
they do a rum king, which is the pumpkin aged in rum.
Yeah.
Barrels.
Nice. Yeah.
It's pretty insane. And then the caramel brulee is awesome. Yeah, caramel
creme brulee.
creme
What is
brulee,
it?
creme brulee. But
Whatever
they do
it
a
is,
salted
man.
caramel beer too.
Make an ice cream float with that. So good. So good.
They okay.
I'm
all right.
sorry, it's been my favorite for a long time.
It is. I mean, it's like
So
it's
good.
so sweet though for a stout.
Which is why you pair it with ice cream.
Yeah, yeah,
Make
yeah.
it- ugh,
And there's a cherry cordial stout that Rob was telling me about.
yes.
So from Holy Joe, we didn't get Missing Falls. Then we went to Holy Joe's,
Yeah.
right? Completely like from downtown Akron. Just you want to talk about family feel,
Yeah,
right?
They're the sweetest guys.
It's like walking
Ever,
into a
yeah.
living room, like, and I
Yeah.
love that
Yeah.
for the Akron students,
Yeah.
right? It's like that might be homesick, or they might be like, I just miss being at home. You walk in there, there's a couch, there's an upstairs, and it's like there's home baked.
Yeah.
You know.
Banana bread.
Yes, he needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean, it's the kind of place where you walk in and you're having a bad day, and he's like, "I'm gonna make you a special drink. Like, you just sit
Right.
down. I'm gonna make you
Yes.
something." Like,
they are.
they're
They're
just
like
so cute.
Yeah, they don't need to market as like the next trending like
Yeah.
new like whatever. No, they have their own thing, and it's amazing. Like, and it works. You know, and it's
Yeah.
we need to go back. I
They're so
want to go back and
sweet.
check
Yeah,
out on them.
they're
Yeah,
just so sweet.
and I know some of the family, and so I'm so happy to see them.
Yeah.
They had some events that just happened. I hope it went well, but they're doing some really good things. Holy Joe's, downtown.
Yeah.
Super cool. So then we went on a little excursion, a little adventure, which you hinted to,
One of my favorites.
to the Woolly Pig Farm Brewery.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you talk a little bit about that. Do you need any more? Because I'm going to.
Yeah, you go ahead. No,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, you can refill it if you want.
Okay.
If there's not.
I think we're good. We have a half
Okay.
growler left.
So the Woolly Pig Farm
Hank, you let me know if you want a real beer.
was a blast. We didn't really know what to expect going, but just from looking at the website, he's wearing the hat. We were really excited about their logo, and just it just seemed like we were pretty excited about all of their graphic arts and things that they use to advertise, the way they advertise. So we get there, and at first we were just like, are we here? You know, it's beautiful scenery. There's like, this beautiful farmhouse, this huge barn. There's hops just like growing, like hanging down from, wires. I don't know that there's a word
Vines,
for
I don't know.
Yeah, like hop vines, and it was so neat. And so we get there. They were so sweet, super accommodating. It was the same. It kind of felt like you were in another country. Honestly, it was like did not feel like we were in Ohio still, and there was so much to see there. The tasting room was amazing, so full of character. Like I was saying before, just everything had a story, and everything was homemade. Like everything was homemade. So neat.
Yeah.
And even outside, it was kind of like a little bit of an experience. Like you go from station to station. They have their tasting room indoors and the bar, and then outside they had it was like this little pavilion, and there are bubble lights hanging and vines from there's a fire pit, and it was just beautiful. It was the perfect place.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was closer,
yeah,
that
we'd
would
be there all the
be.
time.
Yeah. I mean, it's located in central Ohio, Fresno, Ohio, central Ohio, about an hour away from where we're at in Akron, and.
So worth the drive.
Yeah,
to
there's
check out.
you got the woolly
Amazing.
pigs, you have the farm. It's like you want to get away. You want to get away and have a beer.
So the woolly pig. Sorry, go on.
No.
The woolly pigs. That's,
You
I
gotta talk about your buddy
left it
Fuggle.
out. I'm sorry.
Fuggle.
My Fuggle. Okay,
Yeah.
so we go over there. All these little pigs start running out, and I'm thinking like that's what they are. You know, those pigs are like this big, and I'm just like, oh, they're so cute. Look at these guys. And then Fuggle, their 600-pound pig, starts trotting out of the barn, and I just look at Andy, and I'm just like,
Who
is
is
this
he?
real?
Who?
This?
Like, Fuggle, what?
Who?
Buzz. I looked at Buzz.
Was it like this?
Oh my god. This
He was
thing,
he was trotting.
It was like 6 times the size of these other pigs. It was hysterical. Like, I've never seen...
If that thing charged you,
You would die instantly.
I mean, definitely shin splints. I mean,
No, and it was really cool. They're right there. And the cool thing, too, you know, they like, drink beer.
right? Yeah.
You know? So
yeah,
he's like
yeah.
pouring
Well, it's
pails
the,
of pour-off beer. And
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
I mean, it was
fun.
we will go back
Yeah,
for like
yes.
make an event.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like a date night destination.
yeah.
It is the definition of destination
And their beers were
brewery.
so good. They made a really cool coffee IPA. Was it a coffee or no? Coffee,
No,
lager, coffee. Oh, lager. They're all.
That was
great.
the Black Schwarzbier.
So good.
All their beer is Bavarian based.
Yeah.
Um,
Pomegranate, ginger, goza.
They have a beer release coming up, I think tomorrow, which is super exciting for them. He harvested all the hops. It's harvest season for hops, and he harvested all their hops, and they haven't released it yet what it's going to be, but super cool. I'm excited for them.
Yeah, they were really neat. It was fun.
So from there, we went on another adventure, a 3-week adventure.
3-week adventure.
Yeah, to Lock 15, which, oh my goodness. I mean, talk about from a startup brewery extraordinaire, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of these places that may or may not include food. A lot of these places may be the industrial warehouse type feel, which is beautiful. Love it. But there's and then other elements will be added on later, or the brew pub, or it will be built up, and it's how you go, right?
Yeah.
But not Lock 15 though. Lock
little bit of
15
everything.
started from their grand opening a polished, like top tier brew pub restaurant. I mean, you walk in there today, and like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
From the tables to the location,
Oh, and talk about the bar top.
the bar top,
it's so
the
neat.
artwork. Again, adding in the artwork feel is. I mean,
They have a lot of cool elements. The kitchen's
Yeah.
beautiful. You can see
Yeah, the open
kitchen's
kitchen.
Open and
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
you can see the beer room too. The actual brewery.
yeah,
That's right.
the
So-
brew house. Yeah.
Yeah, brew house.
And they kind of like acronym or Arche or these different Akron based breweries, right? Thirsty Dog. Well, they represent like a different piece of Akron, and the same could be said about Lock 15,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
they represent
definitely.
that whole the history.
Yeah.
History rich of Lock 15 that I'm not knowledgeable enough to tell it, but you go there and you'll learn it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they worked it in their logo and
Mm-hmm.
their bar top and everything. It's really neat. And they made it like, like trendy. Really, they
Yeah.
made it, for today they made it modern and it's really neat.
Absolutely. It wasn't like we're talking about the history and so it's all going to be old school type
Yeah.
feel, but it was like, no,
really
it's
cool,
they
yeah.
incorporated it. There is a picture in one of their hallways that's from a bar in the Portage Lakes from like
18 something they said, right?
really, like it's super old, but
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Yeah.
I would love to know what that bar was. I
Yeah.
kind of grew up around that area.
Yeah.
But so
We
cool.
should just take a
The
drive around the lake. And
Portage
see
Lakes.
if we can find it.
So, okay.
Stop it, Junior. Why Rhino Pelican Cove?
Right. Well,
Don't get me started.
no. What was the other place? Pelican Cove,
Dusty
right?
Man.
Pelican Cove had the
We all beach volleyball.
yeah. So I grew
All my
up.
college years.
I grew up down the road on Moore Road from Pelican Cove. My whole childhood, I'm like, that place looks amazing. I can't wait till I'm 21 and I can go there and have a beer and play beach volleyball.
And then they closed it.
I turned 20 and they closed. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
It was sound. It was. You know why? Because people built houses up there.
Yeah.
And the sound went across the water, and I was in there like, no.
Yeah.
Well, like, they were there first.
Yeah, a little bit noisy over the water. Yeah. No. Well, there is Portage Lakes Brewing Company, which they have invited us to do a show there. They're not they contract out their beers to a different brewery. I don't want to go on record to say which one it is. They could, but they invited us, so they will definitely be in the future. They're more of a beer can, a beer to go type place. They have some beers on draft, a phenomenal beer list. Like I said, I used to live there, so I was a regular there for a while. And I'm a little bit distracted by Hank doing the floss right now, right? Is that the name of that dance? But they have a lot of great beers there. It's an old bank. It'll make for a really good show. So that'll be in the future. But from Lock 15, the phenomenal guys, Colin and John and all those guys there, great. Talk about a date night. Like if I want to take my wife out for like even like it's like fancy and like
too.
The food.
Oh my gosh,
Hank, you need to go there and try the food.
We got a little sampler, a few of us around the table, and we all kind of
at
ordered
Scribbles.
something different.
Scribbles Coffee, shout out.
Yes, with Scribbles, yeah, they were awesome. And oh my gosh, some of the best food I've had in Akron for sure.
Oh,
amazing! I was literally texting my friends. I'm like, you have no idea.
Yeah.
So good. Very, very good. I'm not just saying that. Like, I'm still...
And that's what I
get in, like, a stupor when I think about it. I'm like, I need to go back. Those fish tacos were so good.
So good. The Hush Puppies and the burger that I had were phenomenal.
Crab
I want to
stuffed
try
Hush
the
Puppies.
ghost pepper mac and cheese. Woo!
Yeah, there are just there's too many good things on that menu.
So from Lock 15, we traveled out to Kent, Ohio, which holds a special place in my heart. Because I went to Kent State, and that's where I met my beautiful, amazing, wonderful wife, who is the amazing woman behind the Hop and the Bean. She will never tell you, and you will never see it, but she is a lot of the visionary behind things that I will have an idea, and she'll be like, no, do not ever do that in front of anyone. But
or she knows how to make it work.
She
knows how to bring the practical to the dreamer.
Yeah, she's very visionary as far as like set design and things like that. And anyways, we met at Kent, and so I love that Madcap Brewery is bringing a different dynamic to Kent. Because when I was there, I would go to Bottles 101 and buy a bunch of cases of Keystone Light because they were the cheapest beer and they were the most beers you could get for like $11.
Yeah.
But now, speaking of Bottles 101 has a craft beer bar, and they have all different types of craft beer there as well, which is amazing, awesome. I want to explore them more. But I also love what Madcap is doing for. Kent downtown has been completely transformed in the past 5 years, and so they're making. I told this on their show with us, that they are making Kent known for something else than a college town and a drinking town and a party town, known as a craft brewery town. Yeah. And it's...
They're classing it up a little bit.
Yes. As far as from a craft beer drinking standpoint, yes.
Yes, right.
Like they're doing, I can't say enough good things about them. They're from the beer to the environment. Hank said it's like an adult playground. You walk in, there's pinball machines, and they had the Mortal Kombat game. They have, cornhole tournaments, pinball leagues, cornhole tournaments.
Sweaty nerds.
Shout out to the sweaty nerds. Yes, absolutely.
Pinball Fight Club.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Pinball Fight Club.
And that's another one. Like, if I lived closer, and I believe that that's Rob's home brewery, because his home base when it comes to brewery, the closest one to his house. And I'm jealous of that. But I have Arche and acronym, so I can't be too upset about it. But they're awesome. It's like from the atmosphere standpoint, like that's right up my alley. Like different places might appeal to more people, like with a big feel. But like if you want to go somewhere and have a blast, you're gonna go there and have phenomenal beer. Like their Mad Ho that they did the collaboration with Hi Ho. Woo! It was really good. And so they're doing amazing things, and they're kind of just getting started, I think.
Yeah.
And from the standpoint, and Ryan and Kyle and the whole team there, Vince, that I haven't met yet in person, but I started to get to learn. He's a lot of the visionary behind the artistic side of it. Which look at this.
Yeah, I know.
It's so
I know.
cool.
I love that.
It's like it's
Yeah.
neat.
So fun.
I love it.
Yeah. There are so many new breweries popping up, like all these baby breweries
Yeah.
being born.
Yeah, and I mean like Magic City, like look at their logos, they're
Yeah,
so
they
cool.
have fun and fun colors.
Yeah.
Bright green.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rob is gonna go with me to Magic City soon from Northeast South Craft Brew News.
Yeah.
That he'll know what I mean by that.
Mhm. Fun.
And so so we're kind of up to date, right? And so we're here. So here we are, and we are trying to explore where we've been, and so we have a future, a few future shows coming
Yeah.
up. Like we have a beer fest this weekend. I mentioned it earlier, Grape Falls and Congo Falls. It's a smaller. There's some wineries involved. There's some food involved, and there's some breweries involved. But we'll be live.
The hop and the bean and the vine.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. The hop and the bean and the vine. You heard it here first. It's. I don't know what we're gonna watch. It's a different style of because it's not a huge brew fest, but it's the same. Like I'm pretty sure we're gonna walk in and it's gonna be received with open arms.
Yeah.
So that's just how the
so
community is. I'm super excited for that. So, but we will be live. We'll be broadcasting
Mobile,
live.
right?
Yeah, mobile.
Yeah.
Saturday at. I think the event itself is from 6 to 9. So we'll probably go live around 7. So tune in live on this Saturday. We'll be broadcasting that. Nicky will be with me, right? You're coming, right?
I'm coming.
Okay. And then we have another beer fest in Stowe. I think it's just called the Craft Beer Fest, I think, and at the Heritage Barn. I'm going to post a link to that event soon on our page. But they are super excited to have us on, and we're super excited to be on it because it's another smaller event, but I've heard it's a really cool event.
I like the smaller events sometimes because we get to talk to more
Yeah.
people and it's fun.
Yeah.
Feel a little closer.
And then next Thursday, we're going to be at Wadsworth Brewing Company.
With Rob.
You're coming, right? Are you gonna meet us there? You're gonna meet us there.
I'm gonna meet them there. Yes. Might be a little late.
They are doing Ernie and his wife they run the place, and Ernie's brewing the beer, and Erica, I don't know if she helps with brewing or not, but they're doing some good stuff. They're doing some amazing things. Like downtown Wadsworth is super quaint, cute.
Yeah.
Out towards past Barberton, towards Rittman, in between Barberton and Rittman, I guess you would say. Norton is Wadsworth, Ohio, for those that don't know, and they're like it's. Talk about a hidden gem.
Well, I was gonna say that. I was literally gonna say, oh my god, I can't.
He's doing some
real,
amazing
yeah.
things,
Yeah.
and I can't wait. The River Styx Monster is their double IPA.
And they've got the fruit snack beer. What's it called? That the fruit. It's a berry fruit. Remember?
Were they the ones that had it?
Right? Yes.
At the Akron Ale Fest?
Because I
That
remember
you
you
tried?
got the River Styx.
Ah.
I mean, it's so good. I forget what it's called. Shame on me.
Yeah.
We'll
No,
know next
well,
week.
I
So
mean-
good, though. It's pink, and
it tastes like a fruit
tastes
snack.
like fruit snack. It's so good.
And from Wadsworth to the next week, this is kind of a beer month.
Yeah.
Because from Wadsworth, we're going to Hi Ho in the falls. Hi Ho is doing amazing. I mean, just you're going to want to catch that show. They're killing it. John and Allie are doing really great things. Super passionate about the craft beer industry. They're doing really good things.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a bad beer from them as well. And then from Hi Ho, we're going to Ignite Brewing
Yeah. I'm
in
excited.
Barberton,
Yeah.
which they have such a cool story. I went and interviewed them or like a pre-interview to see if they wanted to come on, and they're owned by 6 married couples. They're
Three
in the
married couples. 6 of them.
6 of them, 3 married
yeah.
couples. Thank you. Yeah, in the heart of downtown Barberton, a rock skip away from Magic City.
Like, who doesn't want to own a brewery with their best friends? Like,
Right.
it's just cool. Sorry.
And their
So fun.
grand opening is that weekend. After we will be there on a Thursday, and the grand opening is that weekend, which is the Barberton Mum Festival.
Yeah.
Such a great their premier event, and Barberton's premier event, and so we will be down there to capture that and kind of cover Ignite Brewing Company, and I couldn't be more excited for them, and then hopefully eventually get Jay and Magic City in there too, because they're doing some of the best beers in Ohio.
He's another one of those guys, you see him and you get so intimidated.
Yeah.
And then he's like big teddy bear, and he's so funny and nice, and
Yeah, they did a New England style IPA called Otherworldly Origins. Amazing. Maybe my favorite New England style IPA to date.
Buzz has a lot of favorites.
I do. I feel like I say that. My father-in-law is like, you say that every time. I'm like, I can't help it. I'm passionate, but this is really good too.
Yeah,
I'm
this
like,
is very good.
every time I take a sip, I'm surprised at how hoppy it is. How like hop forward it is. I don't know. So, one other thing I wanted to address. So that's where we're at, right?
Yes.
Right? That's where we've been,
That's
where
where
we're
we've
at,
been.
we're here. I know we're going a little bit over in time, but stick with us, hang out with us. Our contest winner.
Yes.
Hold on. I want to get her name right.
Which, by the way, we have some more really fun giveaways that are going to be coming up in the fall. Speaking
Yeah.
of pumpkin spice lattes and such, it's going to be some fun stuff. For all you ladies that are watching, I'm sure you guys will get pretty excited.
Sherry Ettinger Bailey. This is your name. I pulled from the contest. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I don't know. Maybe you might not have Messenger, so that's okay. But if you could comment to us the best way. I want to get you your prize pack, and get you that amazing all the stickers and everything that you got. Because if I can't get you it, I can't get it to you. So we want, like, I'm jealous of this prize pack, but if not, if there isn't a good way to get a hold of you, or if I know you're out there, so just get back to us, and I don't know, maybe we'll put a deadline on it, like a couple day deadline. It's been a week. I want to be fair to our other contest entries, and so if we don't hear back from you in 48 hours, we'll go to the next person in that contest. So the contest will then be reopened, and maybe I'll do another. How cool is that? And they have wine too, I think, but I don't know much about
beers
that.
with Buzz and pick some pumpkins from the pumpkin.
Are you like trying to be Peter Piper picking pumpkins?
Yes, exactly.
We have any other, before we sign off, do we have any other beer interaction questions, or what's then we got some
Rob
pictures.
had said a while ago, he said football was starting tonight and the temps dropped in the 70s, so he felt safe to try a pumpkin ale. He said it's really nice without being syrupy, the one he was talking about with the spices.
Rob approved of the
Southern
Mad
Tier pumpkin is
Master.
still his favorites.
He's ready to be on the show.
Tastes like pumpkin pie. He also said the cherry cordial, the Samoa, this, and
Samoa.
thick mint.
Samoa from Southern Tier.
Yes, thin mint.
So-
They have a thin mint. Wait.
Oh, yes.
Southern Tier has a thin mint
I
beer.
need that.
Thick mint.
Thick mint. Oh, so they flipped it
Ooh,
thick.
upside down.
I need that,
Yeah.
I think.
Woo!
Pour that over some vanilla ice cream. There we go. That's
Whoa,
gonna be
whoa,
so
whoa.
good. I cannot wait to make a milkshake. So excited.
Well, we, like I said, folks, if you check this out as we go off, feel free to, again, comment and post on our page beers that you enjoy, that you'd like to share with us. Northeast Ohio Craft Brew News, that's kind of the community that we share beers like that as well, that with Rob, and that goes on, and there's an idea behind this show, but also kind of give you a recap and a refresh of where we are at and where we've been and where we're going. Mm-hmm. And I just love hearing about different styles of beer, and that's what it's all about. And coffee, right?
Mm-hmm,
I mean,
More
that's what I really need to do. We need a whole show about like 20 people and different styles of coffee with the drinking.
Well, I mean, not that I'm excited for winter, but winter's going to be a good time for some more coffee shop shows. Cozy, ready to get cozy.
This guy that I just found on Instagram,
Yeah.
the Coffee Trotter, I think his name is, or something like that. he's gonna help us explore some nuances of coffee that will hopefully educate me a little bit. But I'm excited about that future relationship, like we said.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, that's all I got. What do you got? You got anything else? Anything else that you want to say to the Hop and Bean community?
This is just going to be a really fun thing to be a part of. So if you guys are, for any coffee shops or breweries that watch us, please get in touch with us because we're just having fun and it's been a blast for us. So we'd love to get to know you guys and we'd love to get your merch. If you guys want to see me in your clothes, let us know.
if you have any, Nikki's a big hair. What do you call those things that you wear? Like the barrettes that have bows on them that are really big.
Pigtail?
No.
Bows?
Yeah, like a barrette with a bow. If you have a
bow,
if you want to create a bow as gaudy as possible, she will wear it. I'm making her wear it in her hair,
I'll wear it.
And like a madcap skull and a bow in her hair. But one other thing I wanted to do, smell this.
Amazing.
I mean, right? And then smell your beer.
Amazing.
That's the Hop and the Bean, taking in the full, all the senses, right? I mean, it's you look at it, you see it, and you see the beans. I'm rambling, but it's because it's right. I could smell it.
He's too comfortable
from over here and then over there. But for Nicky McVicky, I'm Buzz Andrews. This is the Hop and the Bean. Thank you so much for joining us at home. We get excited. We go on and on a little bit, but it's because we want you to join us on this adventure and this journey. With 330 to go, we have plans to expand and plans to do a lot of things. And we're going to a lot of different brew pubs and coffee shops in the future. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm Buzz Andrews.
I'm Nicky McVicky.
And we're all hopped up.